Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की
जय।
बोलो श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय।
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा एवरीबॉडी।
हरे कृष्णा।
कृष्णा रीना जी कैसे हैं आप?
ठीक है भैया, चल रहा है बस।
अच्छा, आर यू एबल टू फिक्स हुआ आपका?
अभी नहीं, अभी भी बूट पहन के काम चला रहे हैं। 2 हफ्ता और है।
2 more weeks फिर वो
Yes.
खोलेंगे क्या जो भी ऑर्डर?
Yeah.
या
Yeah.
वही एक बार कुछ होता है तो इट जस्ट टेक्स टाइम।
Yeah. एक्टिविटीज बहुत लिमिटेड हो गई हैं। So,
आई नो।
yes.
चलो few more weeks should be fine।
Yes.
सही हो जाएगा फिर। या नाइस। अजय हरे कृष्णा बैक होम। आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही। I think your microphone is probably connected to something else. Okay. It says connecting to audio, but looks like didn't go through. Yeah. Let's wait for a couple of more minutes. I think Ajay will join back. फिर शुरू करते हैं। तब तक रीना जी just for your this thing हम लोग in fact we'll start reading अध्याय 38 now of 10th skand. Yeah, we completed 36th and 37th yesterday.
Okay.
And so what happens is the short story is Narad Muni goes to Kans and tells him that, hey, Lord Krishna is the one who is going to kill you, is actually at Vrindavan, Nandagaon, and he is with Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Maya, and he is actually the son of Devaki Mata and Vasudev Maharaj. Yeah, and he also tells him about Balraj, and then he tells Kans that they are the ones who are going to kill you. And so Kans then gets perturbed, and he is making all the plans. So Kans has sent Akrūra, yeah, with a chariot to go to Vrindavan and bring Lord Sri Krishna and Lord Balram to Mathura. And then what Kans is doing is he has asked the elephant and then also the wrestlers, right? Mustika and the other one, Charunya. I think the 2 wrestlers and one, and for elephant. So he's thinking that they can actually take out Lord Krishna and then he will be able to rule the kingdom. Yeah. So now what we are reading right now is where Akrūra is planning to make a trip to Nandagaon, yeah, and Gokul. So that's what we are reading. Yeah. Ajay, can you hear now? Ajay? Still trying. Hello, Hare Krishna, Shiva Prabhu. All right. All right. So we'll get it started. So we are reading the first shlok of 38th Adhyay, which is about Akrūra's arrival in Vṛndāvana. Yeah, Akrūra being sent by Kans, arrival in Vṛndāvana. We'll start with the first shlok. Anilji.
Shri Shukavacha Akrūro api cha tam ratrim madhupuryam mahamatihi ushitva ratmasthaya prayo nanda gokulam. Sukadev Goswami said, after passing the night in the city of Mathura, the high-minded Akrūra mounted his chariot and set off for the cowherd village of Nand Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Usitva Ratham Astaya, and then he takes a prasthan for Nand Gokul. Yeah. Reenaji.
गच्छन् पथि महाभागो भगवत्यां भुजे क्षणे भक्तिं परामुपगत एवमेतदचिन्तयत्. As he traveled on the road, the great soul Akrūra felt tremendous devotion for the lotus-eyed personality of Godhead, and thus he began to consider as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what is being mentioned is as Akrūra starts for Vrindavan, yeah. What's happening actually? I think something is everything good. You can hear and
Yeah, I have no problem. Yeah.
yeah, looks like Shiva Prabhu and Ajay
Mm.
having some issues. I don't think it should be a Zoom issue, right? I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think it'll be a Zoom issue. Anyway, so we'll continue reading. So the point is that as Akrūra is traveling on the road, right? And he is thinking, and he's Mahabhago. He's being referred as Mahabhago because he is going to get darshan of Lord Shri Krishna. Even though Kans has sent him to bring them back, and then Akrūra knows the Kans's plan, like Kans wants to take out Lord Shri Krishna and Lord Balram, but Akrūra knows that, hey, it's not going to work that way, right? So Akrūra is feeling tremendous devotion. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Shiva Prabhu, you good?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, like there was some background noise with the laptop, so I had to join with
Oh,
phone.
okay. No worries. Yeah. Yeah. So he says, Bhagvat Ambuje Kshane. Ambuj is lotus eye. Ikshane, right? Lotus eyes. And then Bhaktim Param Upagata. The devotion is by default coming out. The tremendous devotion is being felt for the lotus-eyed personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, by Akrūra, and he's being called here as a great soul. Yeah, he's being called as a great soul Akrūra. Yeah, says, and Mahabhago. So, and then he starts thinking as follows about Lord Shri Krishna, is what is mentioned. Very beautiful. Yeah. Shiva Prabhu.
Yes. Kim maya charitam bhadram kim tapatam paramam tapaha ki vatha pyarhate dattam yad drashyamyad keshavam. Translation. Sri Krishna thought, what pious deeds have I done? What severe austerities undergone? What worship performed or charity given, so that today I will see Lord Keshava. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So this is Akrūra who is starting from Mathura, is trying to get to Vrindavan, and he is thinking what pious deeds I have done. Yeah. Says Maya Charitam Bhadram Kim. Kim Maya Charitam Bhadram. What pious deeds have I done? Kim Taptam Paramam Tapah. Yeah. Kim Taptam Paramam Tapah was what severe austerities undergone by me. What worship performed? What have I done? Right? What prayers I have done? Kim Vata Apyarhate. And Dattam. Dattam is donations. Like what dan I have given, what charity I have given. So that what's going to happen? I am going to see Lord Keshav. Drakshamadya Keshavam. Yeah, that's what Akrūra, as he starts its chariot towards Vrindavan, he is forgetting Kans and everything. He's just thinking that he is going to get darshan of Lord Shri Krishna. And he's thinking, I am not that great, right? But what have I done? What pious deeds I have done? What austerities? What worship? What charity I have done? That I am going to see Lord Keshav, right? And I think Shiva Prabhu yesterday asked, like, why the Lord Keshav, right?
Yeah.
So there are 5 reasons which I have given. Let me bring it up actually. Yeah. Can you see?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Google gives 5 reasons for key reasons for the name Keshav. First is what you were mentioning. Like we read about how he kills the demon Keshi.
Uh-huh. Yes.
The demon Keshi comes in the form of a horse, as we know, and then Lord Krishna kills him. That's one reason why he's called Keshav. Kesh is also called hair, right? The hairs are called Kesh. So he says he has beautiful hair. That described in Padam Puran. Okay, so the Padam Puran, the name refers to Lord Shri Krishna having long, beautiful, and unshorn hair, as interpreted by Adi Shankaracharya.
Okay.
So that's the second reason given. The third reason also means that the Trinity divine origin. How the name is broken down as Keshav, right? So Ka is referred to Brahma, and Ha is the Vishnu or Keshav, and then Ish at the end is Shiva. So Keshava. So K is Brahma, Ha, Vishnu, Ish is Shiva, and implying that Brahma and Shiva came from Vishnu. Basically, what it means is he is the divine origin. He is the origin of everything, and that's why the Keshav, because even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva came from Lord Vishnu, and that's where the Keshav name has come. Spiritual significance in the Vishnu Sahasranam, the 1000 names of Vishnu, Keshav is listed as the 23rd and 648th name, representing the primordial Supreme Lord. So, which is fine, but it's listed twice. And then it's also symbolism of light. It refers to the one who is endowed with the rays of light within the sun. So that's also what was Keshav. Yeah. So I thought, we can just go through it, but
Great. Thank you, Prabhu.
But I think the 2 important one, which also means the name, is of course he killed the demon Keshi, and then he has beautiful Kesh, the beautiful hairs. Okay. So going back to Akrūra is thinking, what pious activity I have done, so I'm going to see Lord Keshav today. Yeah. Ajay?
ममैतद् दुर्लभमन्य उत्तमः श्लोकदर्शनं विषयात्मनो यथा ब्रह्मकीर्तनं शूद्रजन्मनः. Since I am a materialistic person absorbed simply in sense gratification, I think it is as difficult for me to have gotten this opportunity to see Lord Uttamah Shloka as it would be for one born as Shudra to be allowed to recite the Vedic mantras. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. He's even comparing himself, like he's saying that I'm a materialistic person, right? Why is materialistic? Because absorbed in sense gratification. So all of us who are absorbed in sense gratification of all different types, right? We are all materialistic persons, right? Conditioned souls and materialistic person. And that's what Akrūra is also thinking, that I'm actually the materialistic. Mame tad durlabham manya. He's saying Vishayatmanu. Vishayatmanu is the materialistic person. I'm engaged in Vishay, sense gratification. Yeah. But then he is going today like Durlabh. That is difficult to get this opportunity. What opportunity? Uttamaha Shloka Darshanana. So Uttama Shlok, like why the Lord is referred to as Uttam Shlok, because the Supreme Lord is always glorified using the topmost Uttam Shlokas. That's why Lord is also referred to as Uttam Shlok. Yeah. So he's thinking that it is such a opportunity, such a rare opportunity, that you are going to get a darshan of Uttam Shloka Darshanam. I must have done something, because I am a materialistic person, absorbed in sense gratification, and I'm getting this opportunity, and that is like, and then he's saying like, it would be for one born a Shudra to be allowed to recite the Vedic mantras. What he really means, and Shudra is not like because he's born as a Shudra, but because Shudra, as we have read about, by being the characteristic of a Shudra, right? And then he is allowed to recite the Vedic mantras. But he's saying like such a person who is too much engaged in sense gratification and suddenly starts reciting the Vedic mantras, right, for whatever reasons. In similar way, I am Visaya Atmanu, materialistic person. I am going to get darshan, Uttam Shlok Darshanam, Lord Sri Krishna's darshan, even though I am absorbed in sense gratification. Right? So this is what Akrūra is starting from Mathura. He is on the way to Vṛndāvana, and he is thinking all that hey, he is going to see Lord Sri Krishna. And even though he knows the purpose of bringing them to Mathura, because Kans wanted them there for the bad reasons, but he's just not thinking about all that. He's just so excited that he's actually going to see darshan of Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Hello?
Tarun, you can read.
Yeah, one second. Nevam mamad dhamasyayapi syat evachyuta darshanam priyamanaha kala nadya kvachit tarati kashana. But enough of such thoughts. After all, even a fallen soul like me can have the chance to behold the infallible Supreme Lord. For one of the conditioned souls, being swept along in the river of time, may sometimes reach the shore. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So first Akrūra is thinking that what good karmas, what pious activities I did, so I'm going to get darshan of Lord Shri Krishna. But then he's thinking, you know what? At the end of the day, even a fallen soul like me, yeah, mam adham shapi, adham, fallen soul, yeah, he's thinking even a fallen soul like me can actually have a chance to behold the infallible Supreme Lord. Infallible, Achyut Darshanam. Achyut means infallible, like he's never changeable, right? Infallible Supreme Lord. And he's going to get his darshan, but it can happen sometimes. Why? Because for one of the conditioned souls being swept along in the river of time, yeah, like in the river, conditioned soul is moving and at some point, sometimes may reach the shore, right? And he's comparing with that, and then he's saying that it's okay. At the end of the day, you know what? There's a possibility that even a fallen soul like me can get the darshanam of Achyut Bhagwan, yeah, the infallible Bhagwan. Mamadhya mangalam nashtam phalam vasheva me bhave yannamashe bhagvato yogi dheya agni pankajam. Today, all my sinful reactions have been eradicated and my birth has become worthwhile, since I will offer my obeisances to the Supreme Lord's lotus feet, which mystic yogis meditate upon. And who is saying this? Who is thinking this?
Akrūra.
Akrūra.
Yeah, Akrūra. So Akrūra is thinking that first of all he's going to get this darshan, and then he's being so happy that Mam Adhya Mangalam Nastam. Adhya is the sinful reactions. Nastam will get eradicated, right? Those will get removed. And then he's saying, my birth has become worthwhile. All along we have been reading that what is the ultimate goal of a human life, right? We have been reading this. Why this human birth is for. We have all these materialistic problems and all those things going around, and we know that our time is limited. But the highest perfection of human life is what? So what is the highest perfection of human life?
Loving and serving.
Right. Surrender. Right.
Surrender to Krishna.
Yeah. Surrendering to Lord Sri Krishna. The highest perfection is when you get into devotional service and you can go back to Godhead, right? And that is when you achieve the highest perfection of human life. Becoming president of the entire world or becoming trillionaire, billionaire, whatever, is not the highest perfection of life, right? And here Akrūra is thinking that my birth has become worthwhile because, he is going to see Lord Keshav. And because he's saying, since I will offer my obeisances to the Supreme Lord's lotus feet, Yannamashe Bhagavato, and what are those lotus feet? He's saying the lotus feet which mystic yogis meditate upon. The yogis meditate upon, yeah? Yogi says here, yogi dheya agri pankajam. Pankajam is lotus, agri is the
Feet.
Yeah, agri is the feet, the lotus feet, right? And what he's saying is which mystic yogis, the yogis meditate upon. Yeah, the people who go in meditation for thousands of years and meditate on the Supreme Lord's lotus feet, and he is going to offer his obeisances to those Supreme Lord's lotus feet. And so his all sinful reactions will get eradicated, right? Is what he's thinking. Anilji?
कंसो बताद्याकृत मेत्यनुग्रहेम द्रक्ष्ये अंगद्रिपद्मं प्रहितो मुना हरेः कृतावतारस्य दुरत्ययं तमः पूर्वेतरन् यन्न खमण्ड लत विशा. Indeed, today King Kans has shown me extreme mercy by sending me to see the lotus feet of Lord Hari, who has now appeared in this world. Simply by the effulgence of his toenails, many souls in the past have transcended the insurmountable darkness of material existence and achieved liberation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. And then Akrūra continues thinking that Kans, by sending him, he has actually done mercy to him. Because he is going to get the darshan. Kanso batadha krit me atya anugraham. He is saying he is actually thankful to Kans so that he has sent him, right? And he is of course saying that again, agrin padam drashkshe, right? He is going to get that darshan. And of course, he is saying that why he has come into this word, krita avatarasya. Avatarasya for what? Duratyamam tamah. Right? He's saying like he has now appeared in this world simply, and then he's saying that simply by the effulgence of his toenails, many souls in the past have transcended the insurmountable darkness of material existence and achieved liberation. Yeah. So that's the darshan he's going to get. Rinaji?
यदर्चितं ब्रह्म भवादिभिः सुरैः श्रिया च दिव्या मुनिभिः ससात्वते गोचाराण्यनु अचरेश्वरध्वने यद् गोपिकानां कुचकुङ्कुमाङ्कितम्. Those lotus feet are worshipped by Brahma, Shiva and all the other demigods, by the goddess of fortune, and also by the great sages and Vaishnavas. Upon those lotus feet, the Lord walks about the forest while herding the cows with his companions, and those feet are smeared with the kumkum from the gopis' breasts. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, and Akrūra again thinking about those lotus feet, he's saying Brahma Bhava Adi Bhi. So Lord Brahma, Bhava is Lord Shiva, right? And Sure, even the says the lotus feet are worshipped by Lord Brahma and Shiva and all other demigods. Yeah. Sure is all the other demigods. It's Shriya, goddess Lakshmi, Chadevya, all the Devis, and Muni Bhi, all the Munis, Rishis, and Sasavate, all the devotees, right? They are all worshipping Lord's lotus feet. And that's the darshan he is going to get. Shiva Prabhu.
Drashyami nunam sukpolanasikam smittavalokarun kanjalochanam mukham mukundasya gudal kavritam pradakshinam me pracharanti mriga. Translation. Surely I shall see the face of Lord Mukunda, since the deer are now walking past me on my right. That face, framed by his curly hair, is beautified by his attractive cheeks and nose, his smiling glances, and his reddish lotus eyes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, and then he is, of course, Akrūra is thinking about Lord Mukund, and he's saying, I should definitely see Lord Mukund. Says Mukham Mukundasya. Yeah, and he's saying Gudal ka Vritam. Right? Gudal ka Vritam, the face framed by his curly hair. That's the Mukund's, Lord Mukund's face he's going to see. And why he thinks he's going to see? Because he's going to get, he's getting all the good signs. The deer are now walking past me on the right. So, Pradakshinam me pracharanti ve mriga. And then he is remembering his face, saying he's beautified by su kapol nasikam, attractive cheeks and nose, and says avlok karuna kanchalochanam. Yeah, aruna kanchalochanam. That is his smiling glances and his reddish lotus eyes. Kanchalochanam, reddish lotus eyes, is what he's going to see. Ajay?
Apyadya Vishnu Manurjatvamiyusho Bharavataraय Bhuvo Nijechya Lavanya Dhamgo Bhavito Palabhan Madhyam na Syat Phalam Majasa Disha. I'm going to see the Supreme Lord Vishnu, the reservoir of all beauty, who by his own sweet will now assumed a human-like form to relieve the earth of her burden. Thus there is no denying that my eyes will achieve the perfection of their existence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? And he's, of course, thinking about the glorification of Lord Sri Vishnu, right? And he's saying, Bhar Avataraya, like he's taken the avatar on the bhu, on this earth, Nijecha, like by his own self, Icha, he has taken the avatar to relieve the earth of her burden, right? The burden is all these demons who are on the earth. So he's going to relay that. And then he's, of course, saying that he's not denying that my eyes will achieve the perfection of their existence. Fal Majasha Drisha Hai is how Akrūra is thinking. Tarun?
या इक्षिताः रहितोऽप्स्य असतः स्वतेजस्य तमोभिदा ब्रह्मः स्वमायमन् रचितस्तच्छक्षयसा प्राणाक्ष्य दिभिः सदानेष्व abhiyate. He is the witness of material cause and effect, yet he is always free from false identification with them. By his internal potency, he dispels the darkness of separation and confusion. The individual souls in this world who are manifested here, when he glances upon his material creative energy, indirectly perceive him in the activities of their life, airs, senses, and intelligence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. And then he's of course thinking about the Lord, yeah. How Lord is, of course, is the witness of material cause and effect. Still is always free from false identification with them. Like he is not impacted and he is not influenced by those gunas, Satogun, Tamogun, Rajogun, and those are actually manifested by Lord himself, right? As we have read again and again. And by his internal potency, he dispels the darkness of separation and confusion, right? Says here, Swatejas, Swatej, yeah? He dispels the Brahma. And then, of course, Prana Akshadhibi Sadhaneshwa Priyate says that indirectly perceive him in the activities of their life, ears, senses, and intelligence. Because all the conditions also at the end of the day are manifested by none other than Lord himself. Nice purport. So let's read this, Anilji.
In this verse, Akrūra establishes the all-powerful position of the Supreme Lord, whom he is about to see in Vṛndāvana. The false concept of separation from the Lord is described in the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam 11.2.37. Bhayam dviti abhiniveshyatah sayad ishad apetasya viprayayo snaritihi. Although all existence emanates from the absolute truth, Krishna, we imagine a second thing, this material world, to be entirely separate from the Lord's existence. With this mentality, we try to exploit that second thing for our sense gratification. Thus, the psychological underpinning of material life is the illusion that this world is somehow separate from God and therefore meant for our enjoyment. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Rinaji?
It is ironic that the impersonal philosophers, in their radical renunciation or थोड़ा सा और नीचे करेंगे क्या please? Yeah, thank you. It is ironic that the impersonal philosophers, in their radical renunciation of this world, claim it to be utterly false and totally separate from the absolute. Unfortunately, this artificial attempt to divest this world of its divine nature, or in other words, its relation to God, does not lead people to utterly reject it, but rather to try to enjoy it. While it is true that this world is temporary and thus in one sense illusory, the mechanism of illusion is a spiritual potency of the Supreme Lord. Realizing this, we should immediately desist from any attempt to exploit this world. Rather, we should recognize it as God's energy. We will actually give up our material desires only when we understand that this world belongs to God and is therefore not meant for our selfish gratification. Hare Krishna.
Shiva Prabhu?
The word abhiyate here refers to a process of surmising the presence of the Lord through meditative introspection. This process is also described in the second canto of the Bhagavatam 2.2.35. Bhagavan Sarva Bhuteshu Lakshita Swatmana Hari Darshir Buddhi Adhibhir Drashta Lakshan Lakshanair Anumapakhe. The personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is in every living being along with the individual soul, and this fact is perceived and hypothesized in our acts of seeing and taking help from the intelligence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, what is being mentioned is Lord Shri Krishna is there in every living being, is what is mentioned here. Bhagwan Sarva Bhuteshu, all living entities, Sarva Bhuteshu, Bhagwan is there. Lakshita Swa Atmana Hari, like along with the Atma, Hari is also there, right? The super soul is also there. And how is that known? And this fact is perceived and hypothesized in our acts of seeing, like how are we able to see? How are we able to take help from our intelligence on what to do next, right? The consciousness, right? That shows that the Hari is also there with the Atma.
प्रभु जी ये लक्षिता का मतलब क्या है?
You feel like Lakshita, like how do you realize? How do you
Okay.
perceive? How do you perceive this, right? How do you realize? Yeah,
Okay. Okay,
yeah.
Prabhu.
Lakshita Swa Atmana, like the self soul, right? Along with that Hari. Yeah,
Hari.
we are
Okay.
perceiving that Hari along with the soul.
So,
Ajay?
Akrūra states that the Lord is free of all egoistic pride afflicting ordinary embodied souls. Yet the Lord appears to be embodied like everyone else, and therefore someone might object to the statement that he is free of egoism. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti comments on this puzzle as follows. How can we distinguish between being free of false ego and being affected by it? If a living entity is situated in a body, argues the objector, he will encounter the unhappiness and confusion that occurs within it, just as a person living in a house, whether he be attached to it or not, cannot avoid experiencing the darkness, warmth, and the cold that occur within it. This objection is answered as follows. By his eternal potency, the Lord dispels the darkness of ignorance along with the separateness and bewilderment it produces. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, basically, what is being mentioned here is that how can we say that if somebody has a body, is free of the ego, right? How can someone be free of the ego? And answer is here, the internal potency of the Lord, right, dispels those darkness of ignorance. And we have actually seen this, like we have seen a lot of Mahatmas right here on earth, right, by their meditation and by their devotional service and all that, they get this internal potential, they get that power by which they are not affected by the world, by which they can get free of the ego. Yeah. This यशा अखिलामिव सुमंगले वाचो विमेषा गुणकर्म जनम भी प्राणन्ति शुभन्ति पुनन्ति वे जगत यास्तद्विरक्ताः शोभनामता. All sins are destroyed and all good fortune is created by the Supreme Lord's qualities, activities, and appearances, and words that describe these three things animate, beautify and purify the world. On the other hand, what's bereft of his glories are like the decorations on a corpse. What Akrūra is saying that only thing which is beneficial in this world are the words, which are justifying the glories of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those are the only words of the glories. Everything else is Shava Shobhana Mata. Everything else is all temporary and decorations on a corpse. No useful, not useful at all, right? Is what Akrūra is saying. He says, Sridhar Swami brings up the following possible objection. How can one who is devoid of ordinary ego, who is fully self-satisfied, engage in pastimes? So the answer is, Lord Krishna acts on the pure spiritual platform for the pleasure of his loving devotees, not for any kind of mundane gratification, right? The question here comes up because we are thinking from a materialistic perspective, and that's why we are saying if somebody is self-satisfied, why is he engaging in all these pastimes, right? So the point is, self-satisfied is not just the self-satisfied materialistically or like that, right? He is self-sufficient. He doesn't need to do anything. But what is mentioned here is he acts on the pure spiritual platform for the pleasure of his loving devotees, right? Is what is mentioned. Yeah. Tarun?
Satsang Kil Satvatanvahe Ve Setupala Maravasya Sharmakrita Yasho Vitanvanam Vraj Astha Ishvaro Gayanti Deva Yad Sheshamangalam. Can you scroll up a little more? That same Supreme Lord has descended into the dynasty of the Sattvatas to delight the exalted demigods, who maintain the principles of religion he has created. Residing in Vṛndāvana, he spreads his fame, which the demigods glorify in song and which brings auspiciousness to all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Akrūra is thinking, and this is, he spreads his fame because that demigods glorify in song, right? We see all the glorifications of Lord Shri Krishna. And what happens with that? That actually brings auspiciousness to all the devotees. It says here, Gayanti Devayad Sheshesh Mangalam. Yeah. And Yasho Vitanvat Vraj Asta Ishvaro. All the demigods, singing glorifications of Lord Shri Krishna. And that brings Mangalam, that brings auspiciousness to everyone. Anilji?
Tam twadya nunam mahtam gatim gurum Trailokya kantam drashi man mahotsavam Rupam dadhanam shriya ipstitaspadam Drakshe sama sutrunasha nashasaha Sudarshana. Today I shall certainly see him, the goal and spiritual master of the great souls. Seeing him brings jubilation to all who have eyes, for he is the true beauty of the universe. Indeed, his personal form is the shelter desired by the goddess of fortune. Now all the dawns of my life have become so auspicious. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And again, who is thinking all this?
Akrūra is thinking about this.
Right, yeah. As he is moving towards Vrindavan, he is thinking that I shall certainly see him, and the spiritual master of the great souls. Is the spiritual master of the great souls. And he's saying Trailokya Kantam, and he's going to see Drishina Mahotsav. And he's also describing Mahatam Gatim Guru. All the great souls, he's the spiritual master of. He is also the Trailokya Kantam, of course, all the Trilok, right? And then Drishin one Mahotsav. This is like a big festivity for him. He's going to see him. And he's saying that Rupam Dadanam Shriya Ipsitaspada. He's saying that his personal form is the shelter desired by the goddess of fortune. Rupam Dadanam Shriya is the goddess Lakshmi, Ipsitaspadam. And then, of course, he says, now all the dawns of my life have become auspicious. Rinaji?
Avaruda Sapadeshayo Rathat Pradhan Punsocharanam Swalabdhabe Dhiyadritam Yogi Bhirapyaham Dhruvam Namasya Abhyam Cha Sakhin Banokasah. Then I will at once align from my chariot and bow down to the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, the supreme personalities of Godhead. Theirs are the same feet that great mystic yogis, striving for self realization, bear within their minds. I will also offer my obeisances to the Lord's cowherd boyfriends and to all the other residents of Vrindavan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, again, like he's so much full of devotion, he's thinking the feet, the lotus feet of the Lord. Yeah. And those are the feet which great mystic yogi is striving for self-realization. He is also saying he'll offer the obeisances to the Lord's cowherd boyfriends as well. Yeah. Says here, Pradhan Punsho Charanam Swalabdhe and Dhyadritam Yogi Bhir Pyaham Dhruvam. Yeah. All the yogis, and he's also going to do a Namasya, Abhyam Cha Sakinat. Also the other Gwalpal, he's going to do Namasya. He's going to offer his obeisances. Is what Akrūra is thinking. Shiva Prabhu?
Yeah. Up Grimule Patitasya Me Vibhu Shirsya Dharashayin Jahast Pankajam Dattabhayam Kalbhujadrahasa Prodijitanam Sharneshinam Nrinam. And when I have fallen at his feet, the Almighty Lord will place his lotus hand upon my head. For those who seek shelter in him because they are greatly disturbed by the powerful serpent of time, that hand removes all fear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now he's saying the hand of the lotus of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And he's saying as soon as he falls at his feet, his hands are going to be placed on his head. Yeah. Sirapya Agrimule Patitasya Me Vibhu. Then Shirasya, that's where what will happen? Hastu Pankajam. Again, his hands are also described like lotus-like, right? Will put on his head. And he's saying that that hand, what happens with that? He's saying that people who seek shelter in him, yeah, because they are greatly disturbed by the powerful serpent of time, Kal Bhujangarahansha, right? Bhayam, because of the time, right? People are greatly disturbed because of the materialistic problems. But when they take shelter in Lord Shri Krishna, that hand removes all the fear. Yeah, says that hand removes all the fear. That's the hand which will be put on Akrūra's head when he bows down, when he offers obeisances to Lord Shri Krishna, is how Akrūra is thinking. Ajay?
Samharanam Yantra Nidhaya Koshik Isthatha Balishrap Jagate Ndratam Yada Vihare Vrajayoshitam Shramam Isparshen Saugandhik Manya Panudat. By offering charity to that lotus hand, Purandara and Bali earned the status of Indra, king of heaven, and during the pastime of the last dance, when the Lord wiped away the gopis' perspiration and removed their fatigue. The touch of their face made that hand as fragrant as a sweet flower. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So see, so far, Akrūra was thinking about the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? The lotus feet, which is worshipped by the yogis who are meditating for thousands of years, right? And so many other qualities of the lotus feet. Now he's thinking about the hand, the lotus-like hand. What he's saying is by offering charity to that lotus hand. Yeah? Bali Maharaj earned the status of Indra, king of heaven. Do you remember this? Like we read about this, right? Remember? What avatar Lord Vishnu takes when he goes to Bali Maharaj to ask for charity? Do you remember?
Vaman Dev.
Vaman Dev, right? If you remember the Vaman Dev, he takes that avatar and he's asking to Bali to give what he's asking to Bali Maharaj.
3 foot long of land.
Right, yeah. 3 steps of the land. And then after the 2 steps, he covers the entire universe. No other place to be left. Then Bali Maharaj gives his head to be put on his head. But what is being described here is by offering that charity, because Bali Maharaj didn't go back. He says, you don't have any place for 30 step, put it on my head. Here it is. And because of that, what happened? Bali Maharaj earned the status of Indra, king of heaven. Do you know what this means? Bali Maharaj earned the status of Indra, king of heaven. It says here, Stita Balish Chap Jagate Indra Tapa. Yeah. Do you remember what this means? So if you remember,
He was made the Manu of something in the next life.
He would be the Indra in the next Manu.
In the next Manvantara, he will be the Indradev. He will be the king of all the Devatas. That's what Lord Vishnu, the Lord Vamandev, gave him the blessings. Bali earned the status of Indra, king of heaven. In the next Manvantara, that's what he will be. So he's still there. Bali Maharaj is still there. He's do you know which lok he is in? Like we have 14 loks, right? Remember?
It is Sutal, Patal, Rasatal. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think he's in Rasatal, right?
Right. So we have Atal, Vital, Kalatal, Rasatal, Mahatal, Patal. Patal is the bottommost. Rasatal is where Bali Maharaj is still serving. He is the king of Rasatal. And Lord Vishnu actually promised him that he'll always be there with him. Right? So he gets his darshan and then he is going to be the Indradev in the next Manvantara. Do we remember who is the current Manu?
Swambhu, not Swambhu.
So Shambhu,
Vaivaswat.
Vivaswat Manu.
Vaivaswat Manu, right? Vaivaswat Manu is the current Manu. Shambhu is the Lord Brahma.
Lord Brahma, right.
Lord Brahma's son is Shambhu. I think you are talking about the Shambhu, who is the son of Shambhu. So Shambhu is the Lord Brahma. His son is Shambhu. Shambhu is the first Manu.
Mm-hmm.
In one day of Lord Brahma, how many Manus are there?
14.
14 Manus, right? So the first Manu was Shambhu, who is son of Lord Brahma himself. Current Manu, who is the Vaivaswat Manu, he is called Vaivaswat because
he is Vivaswan, sun god.
Right. He is son of Vivasman. Vivasman is the Surya Dev. So that's why it's called Vaivaswat Manu. And which Manu Antar is this?
7th.
7th. Yeah. So we are in the middle of Lord Brahma's one day. If you can see, there are 14 Manus. We are on the 7th. We are in the middle of Lord Brahma's one day, which is, of course, we know, 4,032 million years long. Next Manu Antar. Do we know who is going to be the next Manu?
Bali Maharaj, right?
Bali Maharaj is going to be the Indradev in the
Indra-
next,
Okay. Yeah.
right? Swarni Manu, I think it's called Swarni Manu. And then all the names of the next 7 Manus are also given, right? If you remember, we can go back and see. So think about this, like everything is already well designed. Like who is the current Manu, who is going to be the next Manu, and the next Manu, and the next Manu. And those are like billions of years. So we are here thinking about like 1 day and 10 days, right? But the point here, what is being made is what Akrūra is thinking, that that hand is going to be put on his head when he puts his obeisances, he gives his obeisances to Lord Shri Krishna. The hand which actually had Bali Maharaj become the Indra, the king of heaven, Swarg ke Raja. Yeah, that's the status Bali Maharaj will get in the next. And that's the hand which is going to be on his head. And also he's saying that that hand, during the pastimes of the Ras dance, which we went through, during the Ras dance, Lord wiped away the gopis' perspiration with that hand. When he did that, he says, the touch of their faces made that hand as fragrant as a sweet flower. Yeah, that's the hand which is going to be put on Akrūra's head. Yeah, is what is being mentioned. Actually, it's almost time. So I think we'll pause here and we'll continue to read this. Like, just think about, like, just all this is just when Akrūra is just going towards Vṛndāvana. I mean, think what happens when he meets Lord Shri Krishna and he taking to Mathura, and there's a whole glorification which Akrūra does of Lord Shri Krishna, right? But right now he's just thinking, very beautiful and very blissful, right? So I think we'll pause here. And of course, as you know, we had Hanuman Jayanti last week, right? If you remember, yesterday we saw the Hanuman Chalisa in Mount Taos mountain, Mount Taos Hanumanji's Mandir, which is established by Krishna Das Maharaj, who is disciple of Neem Karoli Baba. You might have heard about that. Very auspicious place. Today we are going to also do the Hanuman Chalisa. Yeah. And today we are going to look at the Hanumanji temple, which is there in California. It's called Sankat Mochan Hanumanji. Has anyone been there?
No.
Yeah. So
where is it in California?
Say again, Tarun?
Where in California is it?
Near San Francisco. So it's a 1.5 hours drive from San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah. I went there a couple of times. So when I go to San Francisco, if there's a time, I try to go there. It's on mountain. You have to take a permission and all that, because only limited number of people who can be there.
Wow.
On that mountain and all that. But it's pretty nice. There's like a lot of tapasya has been done there by one of the Mahatmas, and he established that one temple. Yeah. So we are going to listen to Hanuman Chalisa, which was done during the Hanuman Janmotsav. Yeah. So let's hear that. And it's called Sankat Mochan Hanumanji. If you Google that, you'll find it. And then when you go to San Francisco next time, and if you have time, it's really nice. So we'll hear the Hanuman Chalisa for like 5 to 7 minutes.
Hanuman Chalisa on page 8 and 9. Shri Guru Charana Sarojana Nijamana Mukura Sudhari Varnau Raghumara Vimala Jasu Jodaya Kurvachari Buddhihina Tanu Janike Sumiram Ramanamar Balabuddhi Vidya Jaya Hanuman
Nice, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a beautiful temple. It's on the mountain. Get a chance. And don't get confused by the another Sankat Mochan right in San Francisco.
So while we were doing, right, my brother lives in California area, so I Googled it. It's about 45 minutes distance from my brother. I texted him and he said, yeah, they've been there a few times. So next
Correct.
time I visit him, I have one more attraction,
Exactly.
place to go.
Yep. Exactly.
We'll see.
Very nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
And the same thing with the St. Taos. Yesterday we saw that. That's amazing too. That's like from Neem Karoli Baba,
Right.
That's another amazing play. Like it's all about this Hanumanji's darshan, right? Being there. They do like 24-hour Hanuman Chalisa on Hanuman Janmotsav. So last week, right? Continuous Hanuman Chalisa.
Wow.
So very nice. And then again, of course, we are reading about Akrūra's thinking of Lord Shri Krishna's lotus feet and the lotus hand and how it's described, right? So it'll be blissful reading again. So we'll see you tomorrow, 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hare
Tomorrow we
Krishna.
have a class, Gayant?
Hare Krishna.
Tomorrow do we have a class?
Oh, not tomorrow. Sorry. Yeah.
Next.
I mean next. Yeah, Monday.
I thought you were doing makeup classes.
Yeah, no. I thought it was Monday for some reason. Yeah. So we'll again see you on Monday. I may have a travel plan, but I'll update. We'll try to do it for sure. But if not, then I'll update on that.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Hare
Thank
Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Good night.
Good night.